Facebook Live, and there's my little notification. Thank you, John. Okay. My name is Bob Spitz. I'm your host, and sitting in for Tony Whistler, who's off goofing out in his in a music festival, I hear, is John Dowda. John is joining us. Hello, John, one of our star coaches, and our
Great
special
pleasure to be
guest.
here.
Yeah, our special guest today is Alex and Rachel from Forgotten Automotive in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, along with their coach, Bill. I'm not going to call you Yankee Bill. I lived in Massachusetts too long. And Bill, their coach. So welcome, everybody. Great to have you aboard.
Thank
Yeah,
thank you for having us.
you betcha. So, you know, Alex and Rachel, you guys are on a rocket ride. Why don't you tell the audience? I already said you're from Muscle Shoals, but the kind of shop you have when you opened up this shop and the changes you've seen from the time you joined with Drive to today.
Well, we bought the property and building and put our name on it in July of last year, July 3rd of last year. Uh, and it was pretty much just me and her, and I had a part-time helper. He'd come a couple of days a week and help out, and we just kind of started with that. I mean, that's where we started. I had the opportunity to buy the shop and not be a mechanic anymore, and I didn't learn that I wasn't going to be a mechanic anymore until I started working with Drive. That when you're a business owner, you need to be a business owner and not out there working. I mean, it's a totally different world, and you have to think in a different way too. It's been pretty amazing. Like I said, I never imagined it to get as big as fast as it did, and to be where we are, having employees to where I'm not up here to get stuff out for the next day. But it's been crazy.
Yeah, like I said, you're on a rocket ride. You started out what we call a stage one shop last year.
Yeah.
Stage one. That means you do it all with maybe a helper or two. And most guys, it takes them a long time to hang up that toolbox and graduate to being a business owner and just getting up to stage two. But in less than a year, you are already able to take a couple of days off because you're in what we call now stage three. You've got some technicians and you got somebody on the front. Is that right?
Sir. Yep. We've hired my sister. She's working front. She's a service advisor. She can be and do whatever we need her to do. She has really stepped up. All the training and stuff she's done with Larry. He's got her way further than I ever could imagine me even teaching her. I never would have got her to where she's at in 10 years. Because I would have been teaching her wrong stuff. That's one of the first things. I got to step away from being up there. That's not my job. So it's it's been awesome being able to offer a job to my sister, and actually make a living, be able to support her kids and everything. Just being able to be here and have that opportunity to give to her. And we've got some good techs in here. We've got our new shop manager. He's pretty much here already full time, but his actual start date is in 10 days. So we have somebody up front that's not me or Rachel. We've got somebody in control in the back that's not me or Rachel. So we're getting a little bit of the benefits of having employees, everything, and everybody getting in their groove. But yeah, it's not something that I ever pictured happening as quick as it did.
And let me jump in and ask you a question about that, Alex, because I am sitting in for the completely irreplaceable Tony Whistler, who is unfortunately not with us today. But he always talks about hiring for attitude and training for aptitude. So when your sister came in, did she have any experience in the industry at all?
None whatsoever.
None, but had the attitude to make it go, right?
Absolutely.
And what it, one of the things that we talk about a lot over here, unfortunately, sometimes when we're talking about bringing in a service advisor, people talk about, oh, well, I got this mechanic who's getting a little worn out. When he's too tired, we're going to put him on the front. And I always ask, is he good at talking to people? Can he sell things to people? Because, just because the more you know about cars may not work into you being a good service advisor.
Oh yeah, it definitely hurts.
Well, it can. You can really have a problem where you get into the phone diagnosis, right? Instead of getting them in, you're diagging over the phone.
Oh yeah.
One other thing I wanted to throw in, we had a note here that Deanna Cole of Van Cleve, Mississippi, is watching and said to tell you hi. So, so I want to kick it back to Bob. I just wanted to jump in and mention that because that's such a great sign of a person with the right attitude quickly stepping into the role and filling it up.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned your sister's sitting in on, I believe what you were saying is your sister's sitting in on workshops with Larry Monroe. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, so those are those action coaching workshops that cover a myriad of subjects, but very heavily in the art of service writing and being a service advisor. And it is an art form. It takes a special set of skills. But as John was saying, you do not have to be technically trained. And as you said, Alex, sometimes it's actually a hindrance to be that technically trained on the front counter.
Oh yeah. Her coming in and just being willing to accept that she didn't know it and start from the beginning, and learn. She didn't miss any classes, nothing. She took it, and got every bit of information that she could from Larry or whoever it was she was with. I mean, she just soaked it up. It was just, like I said, if I'd have been up there trying to teach her anything, I would have hindered her and I would have slowed her down because I am a mechanic and I'm still trying to learn how to even be a business owner. That's still me growing and still learning that I'm not working on cars anymore. I'm making sure the business is doing what the business is supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
And that's one of the hardest things for a technician who opens up a shop is to change gears and say, I'm not a technician anymore. Yes, I'm technically trained, but that's not who I am. Who I am is a business owner, and I've got to think like a business owner, not like a technician. Just like the front has got to be customer centric and think about the customer, not think about the car. The car, that's the back. Technicians are tech centric. They worry about the car. The front worries about the customer. And it's hard for technicians to take off that hat and put on that customer hat. So well done on that. That's very good. Hey, Bill, I want you to chime in here. You've taken these folks from, we were looking at these numbers before we started the show, and I was just absolutely floored. You took them from where to where here?
So when I first started talking with these guys back in November, they were probably on pace to do about probably 250 to maybe 350 for a year. And right now they're on pace for about 750 to maybe 800, possibly 775. So, and it's tough. Like, one thing I will say, it's difficult. It's hard to start asking somebody for help. And also, what a lot of people understand that could be interested in getting involved with a company like ours is that, you have to trust somebody. When I first met these guys, they didn't know me. They didn't know anything about me. They didn't know if I was full of snake oil or something like that. They didn't know if I knew what I was talking about. But, we took a little time. We got to know each other, make small steps. And then they started trusting me. I started trusting them. We learned about each other. And then we're moving forward together. But, no matter what, I can talk all day long. but they're the ones with the boots on the ground, and they're the ones that actually trust what I'm saying enough to do it. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. They're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if that makes sense or not. And it's tricky at first because, this is their livelihood. So if they put their stock in the wrong person or whatnot, or the wrong company, it all goes away. They lose their house, they lose their business, they lose it all. So it's tough. I can imagine, I don't want to speak for Alex and Rachel, but I can imagine at first is probably a little stressful. This guy wants us to do this person wants us to do that. That can be tough at first. That can be real tough at first when your house is on the line, and your business is on the line. So, I appreciate that they gave me that opportunity and we were able to do that together.
No. Okay, let me throw in and ask a question. So to that point, Bill was discussing baby steps and you guys getting to know each other. What do you guys, Alex, Rachel, what do you feel like was the first aha moment? And it's a little unfair because I didn't prep you for this question, but thinking back, where do you remember saying, oh my God, this is going to work. This is helping us.
I don't know about for Rachel, but not really. It wasn't a aha, this is going to work or anything. It was honestly the first video meeting we sat down with, just getting started, just the information that was given, I felt comfortable. It was just the knowledge that everybody had and what they were saying they could do. I was at a point in my life, I was just stressed to the max. If I was awake, I was stressed. If I was asleep, I was stressed. There was no in or out. If it was being worked on, it was being diagnosed. If parts were being ordered, Rachel was, she was here and helping. But at the very beginning, it was me. I dealt with the customers. I answered the phone.
Right.
I answered the phone. All of that, everything that goes into running a business, I was trying to do on my own, and then give a little bit to Rachel. And I felt more comfortable bringing other people in after working with Drive. My biggest thing is quality of work. If it takes you longer, okay, that's great. I want cars to leave here in better condition than they left or than they got here. I want the work to be done. I want it to be done right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And for me to trust other people to do that, and working with y'all, y'all gave us the tools and everything. We just had to apply them. And I think after that first meeting, I was just, let's do what they say. I mean, what do we got to lose? What am I going to do? Be stressed out? I'm already stressed. So, that just, for me, it was easy to step away. As some of the stuff, just being a mechanic and being a business owner, not being at the front, being a service advisor, that takes a lot for me to let go of some of that at first. But anything Bill said, I think me and Rachel, we just was like, hey, let's do it. It's either going to work or it's not. And we just put faith in it that it was going to work.
That's awesome. Let me throw in one more shout out. Mark Granum of Mobile Mark in Florida is watching. He says hello as well.
Good morning.
Yeah, and I will say, you guys have done a great job with it. And, you guys have moved along really, really quickly, and the best part about it is as though you guys are on this really great trajectory, but you're not going so fast that it's out of control. That's the beauty of it. I feel like we're at just the right pace, almost like Lambda, you know what I mean? We're at that balance point where we're moving along quickly the way we want to, but we also are not out of control and making mistakes and things going wrong and losing clients. You're growing while your business is growing while you guys are growing as owners. So, I especially like that. When I review your account and all that, and I look at where we've been and where we're going and where I think we're going to end up, it's kind of nice, I think it's just the right balance of everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to, diagnosing a car. After 10, 15 minutes, you should know where you're at, where you're going, and what to expect after that. I mean, it's kind of all flows the same, just different aspects of it. But it's, man, I honestly can't thank Drive enough. I know it's business and all of that, but we wouldn't be anywhere near what we are now without working with Bill, working with Larry, everybody. It's been awesome.
That's great.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this, Alex. You've done the Essentials of Shop Management workshop, is that right? And you did that with Deanna Uri from Cold Service. What would you say about that workshop? What did you get out of it?
Man, it was awesome. I learned things that I never even thought I would be using in a business or even be looking at. It was more knowledge than I could actually retain. It's a class I would like to retake again, because when I did get to take that class, we were still in that, I think, stage 1, stage 2, or I guess it was more stage 2. I wasn't fully in here. I was in here doing the class, but I mentally wasn't able to stay focused on it because of issues outside of here that weren't. I didn't have people and policy stuff in place to take care of those problems so I could focus on it. But we're at that point now to where I can focus on more of these classes that are going to help benefit the business. But I recommend any class on here, big, small, take it. I mean, it is awesome. I mean, every bit of the knowledge is. And don't be scared to apply it either. I mean, that's, I get what Bill was saying. It's our business. We're on the line here, all of that. But if we go into it scared to change, we're not going to grow. So I mean, it was, hey, it's going to work fine. If it don't, hey, we'll regroup and go do something different. But we took a chance, and it's just been awesome every step of the way.
That's great. That's great. You kind of walked past a little bit of I think you said something really interesting about the Essentials of Shop Management workshop. You ran into things you never thought you were going to do. Something I think about all the time, that I grew up not far from you guys in Northwest Georgia. I'm a good bit older than you are. But when I was a young man, the fellow that worked on our cars and our family, like the main guy around, he was illiterate. And he was great mechanic. But in 2025, you can't run a business just fixing cars. There's so much more that's got to be done. And there's so much more to marketing a business. I think you guys have really dialed that in. The other thing, just going back, I sense from you the same thing you said about your sister. I'm going to go take these workshops. I'm going to get everything from it I can get, right? I'm going to get it now. And that attitude, I believe, is one of the things that's taking you guys over the top. I'm assuming you guys are already signed up to come see us in September at the expo in Las Vegas.
Oh, yes. Got tickets and rooms, got it all.
That's great. That's great. Well, we'll get to find out if Bill Ascolillo ever wears pants. You've only seen him from the shoulders up, so.
I do not.
Okay.
I'm the same here at the shop too. It's okay.
Yeah. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's right. It's nobody's business.
Yeah, it's nobody's
I will say, John, there was a great point that you just made a few minutes ago, and kind of what you were alluding to is that these days you know, years ago, you would drop your car off, it would get fixed, all that sort of thing. Hey, you know, your car's ready to go. These days, people almost want a little bit of an experience. Like when they come to a shop, you know, they expect a little bit more of an experience feel, not because it's already an inconvenience for somebody to go have their car worked on. They know it's going to cost money. They know they're going to be without their vehicle. They have things to do, work, shopping, whatever it is. But, you know, so it's already an inconvenience to begin with. So at least when you make it an experience, it lessens that a little bit and makes it a little more palatable, a little more enjoyable, you know, and that's really critical to today's modern automotive spaces. It really needs to be a little bit more of an experience.
I
Yeah,
agree.
well, that's leads to what we were talking about earlier. The front has got to be completely customer centric. It
Yep.
cannot be technically centric.
That's, you know, one
Sorry,
of
I
our
keep locking up.
is letting the customers know, you know, we don't want to just call, hey, you need a transmission, give us $10,000. We like to give them every bit of information we can because, you know, nobody wants to, hey, my car's broke, I got to spend 10 grand. We like to give them knowledge about their car, everything. You know, it's not just, hey, it's broke, we can fix it, it's this much.
Right.
They're having problems. Everybody does. We try to, you know, accommodate. We know it's not fun coming to us. Nobody comes here, hey, my car, very few will come by, hey, my car's running great. Can you find something wrong and fix it? Not many people that do that. So,
Yeah.
you know, in a sense, you know, we try to make their repair process as easy as and comfortable as possible, you know. So if they're like, well, why do I have to have injectors or whatever? We explain to them what they do. You know, this is how it works. This is why we have to do this. It's never that just plain cut and dry. Hey, this is broke. This is what we need, and we'll fix it. You know, the more I feel like the more knowledge you can give a customer, the more comfortable they're going to be leaving their car with you. Because the more knowledge you have with anything, you don't want to go to a doctor and he's like, well, you might have this, and we can check this and check that. You don't want to hear that. You want to hear facts.
Right.
You know what you know what's really going on with the car, how long is it going to take, and what's it going to cost to fix it. I mean, it's plain and simple as that.
Great.
Yeah, nobody ever comes to your shop because you got the world's greatest coffee in your waiting room. That's never going to happen. It never has. It never will.
That's not it.
You know what I mean? Never.
I do have a question along those lines. Before I do that, I need to send a shout out to Shay Hinkle of Shay's Auto in New Mexico. Thank you, Shay. And our good friend Shannon Farrell at Beach Haven over in Tennessee. Shannon's watching today. Shannon's going to be a guest pretty soon on Facebook Live. So I think he's trying to get some tips. He's learning from you folks what to do.
Awesome.
One of the things that we're big about, speaking of that experience, is the female friendly shop and making a place that is comfortable. The waiting room is comfortable. Were you guys already on that tip before you came in with us, or have you done some work?
Yeah, we've updated the building. Still in the process of doing some updates. But that's I'm OCD about being clean. You make a mess, hey, get it cleaned up. Our shop is not nasty. We don't want anybody coming back in. You got footprints in my car, none of that. Our shop is clean. You walk into it, there's not stuff piled everywhere. It's organized, and that keeps the flow of the shop just keep going. If you got garbage everywhere, you got parts everywhere, tools everywhere. I'm not gonna let you work on my car. Man, it's just a simple fact. I'm not.
Yeah. True.
That's my personal preference. If you can't find your tools, you're going to take 4 hours to do oil change. I mean, I feel like that is one thing we do. We have a pretty good curb appeal. We painted the building, new sign, come inside and made it inviting. I mean, you don't want to just walk in the shop and it's all dark and, you know, somebody sitting there, well, can I help you? Or, yeah, it's just, like I said, that experience. As soon as they walk through the door, you want them to be comfortable. I mean, nobody's real comfortable about, hey, my car's broke. Can I trust you to not take everything I got?
Right.
Because that's not what we're here for. We don't want to take
and
cars broke. We fix them. But, you know, we're not trying to take anybody. if
Right.
anything, we try and help everybody out we can.
Right. And Rachel, is the bathroom clean?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I always like to have a lady to ask if the bathroom's clean because it's clean enough. And
Well, we do have an inside bathroom and then a tech bathroom.
that's right. Exactly.
50% of customers.
Not the same
No.
thing.
No, absolutely.
You don't like going in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
You may
right.
not come back.
So, Bob, what else we got on the agenda today?
Well, it was just about that time for a station break, John. What do you have?
Well, let me tell you, next week on Drive Facebook Live at 12:30 Pacific and 3:30 Eastern, we're going to have Master Elite of Shop Management, Rich Gregg of Essential Auto Service.
Great guy.
Great guy, longtime client of Drive, and truly a master elite of shop management. So that's going to be a fascinating conversation. Please tune in next week at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern.
Yeah. And what about this little thing that we have hanging above our head here, John?
Oh my goodness. What about the expo? And I always point the wrong way. Bill did it right the first time. Thursday, September 18th through 20th, join us in Las Vegas for the Drive Expo. Absolutely free of charge to all Drive clients. Got to get your own, you got to pay for your travel and your hotel, but the expo itself is free. Lots of training, lots of live workshops, lots of hobnobbing with good folks like Alex and Rachel from Muscle Shoals. You can come pick their brains about how they so quickly turned around their shop and made it very productive in a very short time. You might even meet our good friend Bill Ascolillo if he makes it out there. So please come and see us in Las Vegas, Thursday, September 18th through 20th.
Very good. Very
Thank you,
good.
Bob.
Yes. All right. We don't have much time left, but you've been on this rocket ride. You've accomplished a tremendous amount in such a short period of time. Have you been able to project towards the future? What does this all look like in 5 years?
Hopefully, a couple other shops.
So you'd like to become an MSO?
I don't know how big, but in our area here, our goal is 2 shops for sure. After that, we'll just see where it goes. Rachel's got some her own personal dreams and stuff we want to go after too, other than being in a mechanic shop.
Oh, really?
You got some really big plans. So
That's good. Dream big.
That's
Well,
great.
you're going to meet at the expo some really fantastic operators who are MSOs, who've been at this game for a while. They've uncovered a lot of the secrets of how to make this all really hum. And don't be afraid to sit down with them. Every Drive client, this is a family, and every Drive client is willing to help every other Drive client.
Yeah.
Because we just, as an industry, that's one of our goals is to upgrade the image, the integrity, and the level of ethics of our industry. And we do it one shop at a time. And you're a shining example. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Bill, any last words?
Nope, just wanted to say thank you, Alex and Rachel. You guys have been really good about putting your trust in me, and allowing me to help you along this journey. And it's going to be the 3 of us for a long time.
Gotcha.
okay.
All right.
All right, John. Well, from all of us at Facebook Live, I want to thank you for tuning in. And until next time, I wish you nothing but success, and you all have a great weekend.
That's
Bye-bye.
great.
Thanks,
One
everyone.
One last thing. The registration for the expo is in the chat. So if anybody wants to come register, please check it on the chat for this Facebook Live. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you, Bob, Bill.
Thank you, everyone.
bet.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
and Rachel.